Hello, how are you? Welcome to my channel. Hello, how are you doing today? I hope you're having a wonderful day. So today's video is kind of like a wrap up. Everybody's doing the end of the year book tag and the wrap up of the year, like what they read, what they like the most, and all of that kind of thing. And I decided to do this one because it's like a closing cycle for the year, like a closing for the year of our book club, a book club that I have with my friend, and we run it on Instagram. And I will link the link down below. We usually post information about the book. We post some templates for the book that we're reading, and we read a classic every 2 months. And most of the time, it's just me and her talking about the books that we're reading. So I will say it's a read along. But some people follow sometimes our page, and maybe they get some inspiration or some idea what to read next. And we've been doing this a year and 3 months. So what we read so far: The Strange Case of Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And then we read La Peste by Albert Camus, and that's a very popular book, especially with this whole pandemic thing going on during that time when we was reading the book. And then we read The Sun Also Rise by Ernest Hemingway. So those were our three books that we read the first year. The 2022, we did one book every 2 months, and for some reason, we chose short books. It wasn't really planned, but it happened. And the first book that we get, and I will let you know what we thought about the books that we read. So, oh, I don't know how to organize myself. So let's see. The first one that we read, it was Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. This one, it was, we have most the same opinion about the book. It was easy to read, it was well written, and we give it in a level, I will tell you. So we set the plot, we love the plot, we like the twist on the story, that the little twist that it has almost at the end. We like the characters, but we didn't love them, and we love the writing style. I don't think we like much any of the characters. Both of the sisters, they were either one thing or another thing. Yeah. So we did like the book. It wasn't our favorite, but we enjoyed the story, and when we kind of criticized the fact that in that period of time, it was crazy what it was considered to be poor. And we get like the conclusion that a lot of the both characters, they have you can feel the author on the characters, in the characters, especially on the older sister. So it was a good read for this one. And then on March and April, we read The Remains of the Day. This one, it was one of our favorite reads for the ones that we read this year. It's a very short story. It's about a guy that is going in a trip to a village to visit an old friend, and he's a butler, and he's uh, thinking what his life it's been, and what if he's planning to change something on his life. And I think it's one of the books that we like the most from all of the ones that we read. Let me check. Let me check how much. So for this one, we give it, like we said, we enjoyed the story. It was like love it. Then we like the logic of the relation between the characters. It was good, so we like that one. We like the plot, like we like a little more. And then it's atmospheric. Yes, we kind of love it that. And the characters, even if we didn't really like the main character like a person, you like the character because it's very well developed, and we like the writing style. So it's a contemporary, it's a modern classic. So it's, I would say, it's a little easier to read. The next one we did, it was Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. I read it in this beautiful Library of America. It's a very short story, and it's let me see. So it's a dystopian story, and question how the society can is acting with the changes of technology, and how the people is manipulated sometimes for the governments and for the media. It's a really good story. It's short, but we feel like the end it was a little weak. I think it needed more. It could be a little longer story, and you can develop more the characters and have a little better ending. And some of the characters they get like they are very interesting characters, but you don't, since it's so short, you didn't have time to talk about them. So the next one we get, and this I would say it was not my favorite at all. Oh, let me tell you. So enjoyment, we give it like a love it. Logic and your relationships between the characters and how logic it was the story, we like it. And then the plot, we like it a lot, like more, almost love it, I would say, because it was very interesting, and you can still relate to that kind of story. It was atmospheric, and we like the characters, and we like the writing style. So the next one, it was Virginia Woolf, To the Lighthouse. So this one, it was not the best for our book club, and I read it on this beautiful edition, but it's sad. I didn't like it. I personally didn't like it. My friend, she enjoyed more than me. I guess she understood it better, the story. It's nothing happening on this. Like, it's about this family and their vacation, and it's jumping on 3 times of period of times. So it's just nothing happened. So I mean, I watch a lot of people who make reviews for Virginia Woolf, and they said you have to read her books with time, like patient. Don't try to read it in a fast, like in one. Even if they're short, they need time to be read. So because it's a slow pace, and if you want to get the story, you need to read it with time and don't rush it. I still don't think I like it. I get bored very easy, but she liked it a little better. So enjoyment, we give it like I don't know how to say it, like a little more than, less than like. Logical relationship, we do see that has a logic story, like the story has a logical idea, and the relation with the characters, they're like very you can believe the relation between the characters. The plot, you don't have a plot because nothing is happening. Atmospheric is not really atmospheric. You don't really feel that you are with the characters in the place that they're describing here. The characters are okay, but since I think maybe if she would work a little bit more on the characters, make you like more the characters, even if the plot is not happening, like you don't have a plot, like nothing really going on. If you put a little more on the characters, you may like it better. But we saw the characters, they were like very basic, not basic, they were there, you don't get much from them. And I think the writing style is good, and she writes good, like the style is nice, but it wasn't our favorite from all the ones that we read. So the next one, it was Shirley Jackson, The Haunting of the Hill House. The Haunting of Hill House. Oh my god! And I read it on this, again, beautiful edition of Library of America. Okay, this one is very atmospheric. I was expecting more scary, but it wasn't. And the characters are really well done. And I did jump on some parts of the stories. And one time I was reading at night and I did get scared a little bit. But it's not really scary. It's not really horror. It just has some bit and pieces of horror there, or maybe scary aspects that make you jump a little bit, but it's more atmospheric, I would say, more than horror. The story is the end of the story is like, whoa, okay, I can't believe that this happened. Is really good. So I think it's our second favorite on the ones that we read, and we give it to this one. We enjoy it. The logic of on the story is really good, and the logic between characters, like relation between characters, is good. The plot is interesting, and by the time that she was writing this, it was a little unusual to have that kind of story. It's very atmospheric, and we like the characters, and we did like the writing style. So the next one, it was our Christmas read, and um, we choose The Adventure of Christmas Pudding. So that is an Agatha Christie short story, and this particular story was the main focus of the reading for this November and December, because most of the short collection of short stories are coming on this particular edition, or with the same kind of short stories with this one, but some of them, or this story, you can find sometimes in a different collection of stories. So we decided, like, wherever you can find the story and it has a different short stories together, or is the same stories, just the main focus will be this one. With my friend, we find the same collection of stories, and I will say only the Christmas Pudding was more related to Christmas. The other ones not really, and we like not much the Christmas Pudding story. It was very, like, easy to deduce what it was, like who committed the crime. It was easy to figure it out. The other stories that they came on this one, the characters are more developed and the mystery is a little deeper, like harder to figure it out. I cannot tell you too much about the short stories because they are short. So if I said something, I can give it away a story. I can spoil the whole thing. So it was our last pick, and we did like it. Finally, I want to tell you for the 2023 what we're planning to read. So again, we're gonna do one book every 2 months. We're gonna still posting on our Instagram page some templates and some information, just tidbit info about the book or the author to keep you, like, motivated to read. And we're gonna read again Jane Austen on January and February, because February is kind of like Valentine's thing, and Jane Austen is considered one of the romance writer or on the classic. And we're gonna read Pride and Prejudice between January and February. Then we're gonna do March and April, and Anna of Green Gables. Then for May and June, we're gonna be reading Hard Times by Dickens. It's not that big, but it's not a short book. So we're very excited about this read, to see how we like it. Then the next one is a book that we hear a lot of good comments, and is The Master and Margarita by Bulgakov. And that will be our July and August. And this one, it has a really good reviews. And the next story for November and October and November, no, what I'm saying, September and October, is The Phantom of the Opera by Leroux. Maybe I'm saying wrong the name. That will be like our kind of thriller horror thing for Halloween time. And on November and December, we're gonna do again short stories, but we're gonna focus. Our main short story will be Banka by Chekhov, and if we can find a book that has that particular short story, we read that one. And then at the end of the year, we're gonna compare what other short stories we find with this particular short story. So the main one is Banka by Chekhov, and whatever else you find. If you find just Banka by itself, like just that short story on itself, it's okay too, because that's our main focus, and whatever else we find along that short story. So that is for today. Is a little bit like a wrap up for the book club, and kind of like announcement that what we're reading on 2023. And just check out our Instagram and let us know if you read these books, how did you like it. And on our page on Instagram, you have at the very beginning how we rate the books, because we're not using stars, we're using like a hearts, kind of like emoji, but not really. It's a little different rating, and we're gonna update a little bit for 2023. So just keep like watching or following the Instagram highlights, because we're gonna announce them how we're gonna switch a little bit the rating system. It's just gonna be a little update on that. And I think that's it for today. I hope you liked the video, and I hope you read a lot next all this 2023. And again, thank you for watching. If you like the video, thumbs up. If you want to know if I post another video, ring the campanita. And thank you for watching. Bye.